To be more human than human. Humanism, the client-centered theory. What does humanism mean? Humanism, or client-centered theory, takes its foothold in social work from Carl Rogers, who founded the theory in 1951. Humanism is defined as a philosophical orientation that holds that morality and ethical judgment should be based not on divine spirits or supernatural forces, but on human experience and reason. Humanism, or client-centered theory, is centered on a mutual relationship between the practitioner and the client based in the humanistic approach, acknowledging the self-worth of every person, thus ensuring the validation of the client's dignity and self-worth rooted in the client-practitioner interactions.
The client-centered theory is a strengths perspective that focuses on the client's strengths while addressing the problems that they face. It is a theory that is broad enough to be applied to all three levels of social work at the micro, meso, and macro levels. It honors the worth and dignity of all people. It focuses less on the technique and emphasizes a change to the professional relationship between the client and the professional. It is a non directive approach that places the social worker in a position that does not hold the power to make the decisions that affect the lives of their clients.
Key concepts of client-centered theory. Client-centered theory is based on the following key concepts: self-actualization, incongruence, congruence, unconditional positive regard, and empathy. Self-actualization, a process of growth and change that culminates in achieving personal fulfillment. Incongruence, a state of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and fear resulting from problems in a person's self-image. Congruence, an integrated, positive self-image that allows people to heal, grow, and move toward fulfillment. Unconditional positive regard, sincere communication of warmth and care grounded in inherent self-worth rather than conditions. Empathy, the ability to accurately understand and demonstrate genuine concern for another person. Theoretical principles of client-centered theory. Principle 1. Personal and social problems occur when people are devalued.
This principle advises social workers to consistently communicate a sense of inherent dignity and worth to avoid continuing oppressive treatment. It promotes the client's self determination and choice. It seeks to build self worth and personal power as a way of fostering growth.
Principle 2. Change happens in the context of an authentic helping relationship.
This principle promotes the development of a professional relationship that is validating and communicates unconditional positive regard for the client. The social worker must construct a safe process that permits the client to work through their problems. The social worker is also responsible for creating the conditions that allow the client to be authentic and take risks and foster growth. Once again, the process is not hierarchical and does not assume that the social worker is the expert with the right answers to solve the client's problems.
Principle 3. People are capable of self-actualization when the conditions allow positive growth and change.
The client-centered theory asserts that people are naturally inclined towards growth and change. Rogers believed that when people process hurt and discard negative thoughts, they could accept the past and using lessons learned to develop insight and goals. Social workers helping people with physical or mental disabilities must be sensitive to the challenges injuries and disease can impose on the lives of children and adults, while also being mindful not to limit potential that may seem inevitable considering a particular diagnosis. Sharing ways people overcome the challenges of a disability is an example of self actualization.
Examples of practice settings and use with diverse client systems. On a micro level, clients are often mandated to therapy, for example, if they have become entrenched in the child welfare system. This is an example of a micro-level aspect with the court system, with treatment plans being reported back to the courts. Macro level, community organization, policy analysis, and other macro practice interventions are also consistent with a humanistic approach.
Strengths and limitations. Strengths. It is consistent with the National Association of Social Workers' mission and core values, honors the worth and dignity of all people, honors self-determination, displays warmth and concern. Genuineness displayed through building an authentic relationship support the client's growth through the use of unconditional positive regard and empathy. The building of a strong therapeutic rapport can create an environment in which the client can identify goals and start the change process. Due to its broadness, the client-centered theory can inform all types of social work settings and across all three levels of practice, at the micro, meso, and macro level. Impact can be seen across multiple disciplines that include education, psychiatry, psychology, and philosophy. It is useful with children, adults, families, and communities. Its central ideals can be applied in many scenarios that we may encounter. It is useful in cross-cultural work. It offers a framework when working in multicultural settings, and due to its non-directive approach, it allows the position of the client to be heard. A client-centered approach is suggested to provide a competent and effective treatment system for racial / ethnic minority clients and families. The approach is optimistic and focuses on noble human capacity to overcome hardship, pain, and despair. Another limitation is that it is not evidence-based, not narrow enough to conduct research testing on a specific intervention. It has subjective ideas versus scientific. Humanism rejects scientific methodology, like experiments, and typically uses qualitative research methods. It is too simplistic, lacks specific guidance that can be found in other treatment manuals. Social workers must be able to be in the moment and respond as different contents arise without being given specific instructions on how to intervene in individualized scenarios. Finally, time restrictions. Genuine relationship building takes time, and with insurance restrictions, lack of resources, the time a social worker has to work with a client continues to shrink. In conclusion, the client-centered theory is a humanistic approach that believes people are inclined towards self-actualization. Yet when self-image is damaged and the client experiences anxiety and vulnerability that are associated with incongruence, that change process can be stalled. Client-centered theory advises that social workers should develop a professional relationship with clients that are warm and affirming. When social workers construct a process that includes Rogers' key concepts and theories, the client's growth can once again be renewed.